So that's what I'm talking about. This is what the GT should have always been. Everything on the 535 wanted to go fast other than the engine. It was too vibey and, to be honest, just did not have to go to match its look. But that is history now, because redemption has never sounded this sweet. That explosive note is down to the 648cc twin cylinders firing at 270-degree intervals to crank out 47 horses and 52 Newton meters of torque, making this the most powerful engine that Royal Enfield has ever produced. And 42 Newton meters of that torque is delivered at just 2500 RPM, which is enough to propel the GT in the first 4 gears as soon as you get on the gas, like this. I mean, it accelerates like no RE has done before, with the tenacity and refinement which you would normally never associate with the brand. The fueling is immaculate. The throttle response, immediate. It feels like you are surfing on the tip of a never-ending torque curve, with the counterbalancers masking out all the vibes with ruthless efficiency.
When you plant those fireworks in a proven chassis, which has been further revised and shod with stickier rubber, you then run the risk of being stuck with a face which looks like this. The chassis inspires a tank load of confidence even with the 18-inch rims. Then you have the biber calipers and the steel braid lines, which you'll always see in a pursuit of breaking deeper and deeper into corners. Pirellis, of course, just beg to be flogged. Lot of feedback, lot of grip even in the wet. And now with the center stand gone and with the rear set pegs, you have a lot more lean to play with. You know, you can really have fun. And if that's not enough, you also have a slipper clutch to see just how far you can push the envelope when it comes to the new GT. Weakest link now is the suspension, because the forks are a little too soft and they are matched with shocks which are sprung a little too stiff. So the weight transfer is not the most progressive. I mean, for a 210 kg odd bike, it masks its weight pretty well. But when you start pushing, the front end starts diving under hard braking and also bottoms out on the bumps. We try to offset that by bumping up the preload to 5 so that the shock is working in the higher part of the stroke. I mean, the ride quality was a little bit more pliant, but still out of sync with the front tire. And this is an aspect which has a direct impact on the practical facet of the GT, because the ride quality on broken roads is definitely not very good. I mean, the more you think about it, keeping its sporty credentials aside, if you look at the GT from a more pragmatic viewpoint, it starts coming across more and more as a lifestyle product than a workhorse. Now, don't get me wrong, I mean, there are a lot of things which are working in the GT's favor, like its low seat height, you have plenty of ground clearance, and also for a large capacity oil-cooled engine, it stays surprisingly cool while riding in the city. The ergonomics are a little too committed for commuting, even though the reach to the clip-ons is a little less compared to the 535. Also, the knee recesses are a little too high for you to properly hold on to the tank with your knee and keep the weight off your wrists. So you're looking at a rider's triangle, which is not really the best for long distance riding. And if you're going down that road, also the tank is just 12.5 liters, giving you an effective range of about 260 odd kilometers, which is not the best. Also, the clutch I felt was a little on the heavier side in stop-go traffic in the city. And yes, if you're out and if you get a puncture, good luck with that, because even though the tires are tubeless, the spoke rims are not. And the fact that this one doesn't get a center stand doesn't help your cause, making a simple tire repair or a tire puncture repair a bigger chore than it should be. And that's alright, because Royal Enfield already knew all that. It just means that the GT is not for you. The Interceptor is. With its upright ergonomics, front set pegs, and the center stand as standard, the Interceptor 650 hits the nail bang on its head. I mean, you start appreciating even the engine, its refinement so much more when you drop the pace to take in the scenery. It will cruise along nonchalantly at 130 kilometers per hour without any vibrations. And even when you find the right stretch of road, it'll be more than up for a quick dash to 180. The 6-speed transmission, this is the first time you're seeing it on a Royal Enfield. It's not the smoothest, but it is precise. So it slots in well, and also finding neutral is very, very easy. The tank too is a little bit bigger as compared to the GT, 13.7 liters. So if you have a more measured approach on the highway, you will be able to extend that range to about 300 odd kilometers, which I think is all right for touring. The fuel gauge though, I'm not 100% convinced, because it has a mind of its own. So it's better to use the 2 trip meters for a more accurate idea about when you need to fuel up. The seat too is nice and flat, so more comfort for the pillion. It's easier now to mount your luggage, and also the seat height, even though it's a little bit more than the GT, is still very, very approachable. So essentially, suspension aside, because the suspension on the Interceptor also needs tweaking and a few bits here and there where the quality can be better, I think this is the closest that Royal Enfield has come to deliver the perfect motorcycle for its target audience, people who love to tour. I mean, it's comfortable, it's refined, the engine is punchy, it sounds fantastic, it looks good, and the very fact that you can still take it home for about 2.5 lakhs is astounding, to say the least. The only question that remains now is reliability, and unfortunately that's a question which I cannot answer at this point of time, because I need to spend more time with the motorcycle to know the answers. But having said that, I don't see any motorcycle now or any time in the near future which can match the value for money proposition which the Interceptor and the GT bring to the table.